most people who want to know a little bit about City Limits, I guess in some senses it's media, but it's a revised standard version of media.
Yes, when you look at why media was initially created, it was created to provide information to create a well-informed democracy. In the United States, media has become a private enterprise. It's built off of corporate interests to some extent. And in the 1970s, a group of advocates really felt that New York City needed a newsletter or some organization that existed to provide issues that were of importance to poor New Yorkers, working class, and those who really wanted to make change in the cities. Mm-hmm. And we're all familiar with what New York City looked like in the 1970s. So over the last 3 decades, we've pretty much built what was that newsletter into an investigative journalism organization.
Issues at hand. What are some of the more prevalent issues that need to be discussed that maybe we in mainstream media aren't discussing? Because, we can stay on an issue for a while. And still miss certain points. But what are some of the things that maybe we should be paying attention to that you guys are definitely looking into?
Well, really, poverty is a big issue that doesn't get a lot of coverage. And poverty has a lot of different pockets. Generally when we think of poverty, we think of poor people. But people aren't poor because they prefer to be poor. Like, there are a lot of issues that are layered on top of what creates the poverty system that we have somewhat embraced in our society. So we look at all those different intricate components. So looking at workforce development, the economy, and what it means to the poor, different job educational opportunities, the pipeline system to getting people into college so they can be pulled out of poverty. All those issues you really don't see covered extensively. So that is one area that we give a lot of treatment to and that we find important.
Rewarding experience. I want to talk about last week, your investigation on black male unemployment. You won New York Society's of Professional Journalists highest honor. You beat out New York Times.
That's correct.
Also beat out WNYC. What does that say? Well, what do you believe that says for you, considering the fact that you may not be considered, such a strong outlet as the Times, but yet and still you're able to drive home the story?
Well, the amazing thing is, and this is the standard thing we set within our organization, is we may only have 5 people full-time and a fleet of volunteers and contributors, but we don't produce at the magnitude that the New York Times produces, but what we do produce will be high-quality journalism. So I don't believe that people who aren't part of the mainstream should look to us and receive second-rate product. And I think the awards we're receiving are a reflection of that.